What's good, man? This is the EC Pinch Shop Podcast with your one and only host, Glory Boy, back again with another video. Yeah. Alright, so we're back again. Let me introduce you guys to my co-host, one and only. She's just going to introduce herself. But before that, though, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, alright? And at the end of the video, just hit the like button, notification button, just so that way you can be always updated with some new bangers like this. So yeah, go ahead, tell them who you are.
What's good, y'all? You know who I am. It's Clementine. I'm back again. Like he said, go like, comment, subscribe, share. Yeah, let's get into the video.
Man. Let's go.
Then increasingly you're telling women to be the opposite of what I think men want, right? The opposite, maybe in the instant when men are not thinking with their big heads and they're saying, oh, whoa, she's half naked, great, I'm going to go for it. Yeah. That might be what a man wants. But long term, that's not what a man wants. A man doesn't want a girl that's just going to be naked all the time and put herself out there available for every man to see. That I don't have to be a man to know that that's not what men want. Yeah. So then you say men suck. And I ask this question all the time. You complain about men, but are you being the type of a woman that a man would want, right?
Yo, what's up, guys? Before we get started, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We are almost at 300,000 today's video.
And that is the truth when it comes to young women, because I dedicated my first episode to young women and really talking to them about these are the options that are being presented to you. Less, take off more clothes, do the most to get attention, right? If you think that that's freedom, the idea that you have to wear less and the idea that you have to get naked to be heard, you really think that's a form of freedom? Because that's slavery, that's bondage. I didn't have to take off my clothes to be heard in society. And these women will realize that when you follow these people that are self-imposed feminists. I'm a feminist. I do this. I'm a feminist. You hear that word over and over and over again. You'll find that the majority of them are miserable. Look at their lives and ask yourself a question. Do you think they are happy? Do you feel good when you do what they do? Right? When you're constantly looking for a dopamine hit from social media because you took your clothes off and you want somebody in your comments, a thirst trap with your ass out, right? And you want someone in your comments going, oh, you slay bae, you slayed the day, bae. Hashtag Tuesdays, am I right? Yeah. And you do the stuff for attention and you're devaluing yourself, and at the end of the day you don't actually feel good, and it's not going to bring you happiness, right? So yeah, you can get guys sliding in your DM, you can get guys telling you look good, you can get guys that want to sleep with you. How many of these people actually get guys that want to stay with you, right? Are not in somebody else's DM. The same way that you found him is the same way he's going to find somebody else, because we are increasingly becoming a part of a society that's ADHD. You want to know why our grandparents stayed together? Because they weren't looking at ass cheeks all day on Instagram and refreshing it and going, oh, well, that girl looks younger, that girl looks better, that girl.
I got a question for you. Do you think social media have destroyed so many like relationships, so many like so many kids in a way that they start to feel some type of way just by seeing these influencers do certain things, and then it would just it will kind of like have them try to like do the same thing to some different extent. Like,
I wouldn't say destroyed, but I would say social media plays a big role in everything right now. Like, kids are on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all that, and they're seeing things and they're feeling like, oh, my favorite celebrity do this or looks like this, I want to do the same thing. Or everyone wants to do what the Instagram girl models are doing. We got kids taking half-naked pictures. But it's not just a now thing. It's been like that. The social media been around for a while now. Like, for a long time, since MySpace. I was on MySpace as a child, and I remember, like, seeing things, and I'd be like, oh, okay, everybody's doing it. Maybe, like, this is what's supposed to be happening. But, yeah, I feel like social media does play a big role.
How about in relationships, though? Like,
in relationships?
Because she said a lot of times social media like kind of ruin relationships. So like, I mean, she didn't say exactly the same way I'm about to say it, but like people are scrolling down the screen, seeing ass cheeks here and there, just double tapping, and then now for example, you get caught by a woman, now you're in a whole big trouble, and now the relationship You know, it's
I feel like with relationships, as far as that, I'd say like social media plays a role in relationships when like you see a couple and you want to be like that couple. Like you see a certain couple on social media that you follow and you're influenced by and you want to be like that. But when it comes to stuff like, oh, a girl's posting thirst traps and now he's liking her pictures or he's doing this and that, sliding up, telling her she look good or vice versa. I think that's all about self-control. You can control yourself. You don't have to do that. And if you're in a relationship, social media is there. All that is just temptation. You should have more self-control than to do that. But with relationships, I feel like the only impact it plays is like you wanting to be like the next couple that you see on the social media. You want to be like Dirk and India. You want to be like Ari and Moneybag or G Herbo, whatever. Like you want to be like those people because it looks good from the social media, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I'd say that.
Yeah, man. All right, let's continue.
Face tuned, you know, and I think that is what these young women that they're following are telling them. You've got 13-year-olds getting lip injections, right? Because they want to look like Kylie Jenner. Again, not a shot to Kylie Jenner, but what society have we created that ever made Kylie Jenner feel like she had to go out?
Yo, what's up with that lip injection? Like why? Like I saw this one girl, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, she's already okay with the lips that she has, you know. And then somehow now her lips look like she got stung by a bee. You know what I mean? Which is like, damn, like why would you do that to yourself?
Like I said, they want to look like the Instagram girls. The same thing with BBLs. But I don't know. I think it's an insecure thing. Because I just remember back then they used to make fun of big lip girls. I got big lips, but I never felt insecure about it. I remember they used to make fun of girls like that though. Like if you got big,
fun of dark skinned girls,
dark skins, big lips, big butts. Now everybody wants that, and or dark complexion. Now girls is tanning and
it's the beauty standard,
doing all this and that because it's a trend. But yeah, I notice how they get the big lips and the big butts to try and look like us though. Like she said, Kylie Jenner. Everybody wanted them big lips because she went and got her lips done.
That's crazy.
But she's getting big lips to look like us.
That's crazy.
Everybody just want to look like somebody. They think that's the best thing. Shit. I don't know.
But yeah, man, that's insane.
I had a client who got a BBL real young. She wasn't even over 18, and now it just looked crazy.
But like, okay, so
all because it's Ari and them got a BBL. Now she want a BBL. She went and got one, and I feel like that's crazy. You young.
Do they get like a list that shows them like this will be like the half risk? Like,
oh yeah,
if you go through
can
this
die.
Process,
You literally can.
Why risk
I heard.
life?
I'm not sure if it's true, but Kanye West's mom died getting a BBL, or a BBL. Damn. She died during that. I'm pretty sure that was what they said. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
That she had to contour her entire face and change her entire body. She was already a beautiful little girl. So the society is ill. It's not normal, right? Don't let these people convince you that that's normal. That's cancer, and that cancer will become contagious to you if you accept that. You don't follow better role models.
Where does a guy get a right to say what a woman is? Women only know what women are.
Are you a
models?
It seems to me a lot of women, when they hear conservative values, the trigger to them, and I could be wrong, the trigger to them, it seems as, bondage, go back in the kitchen, shut up and just, just be a slave to your husband. Why do you feel like there's so much of when they're hearing about some of the things that you say, like what makes you happy is making your husband a sandwich. Some people like that sounds crazy, right? So why do you think there's such a disgust, such a rejection of that kind of idea of that kind of woman in regards to modern society?
Because we're being brainwashed via the education system.
Okay.
You learn feminism in school, right? You learn feminism. I had to actively
define
learn it.
And for clarification, how do you define feminism?
I can tell you how they define it and what it actually is, right?
Go
So
ahead.
feminism in school, when you learn it, is you're just fighting against the patriarchy, and you're supposed to see the patriarchy everywhere. It's the same way that critical race theory and race is being taught. The idea is they're not actually teaching you anything but how to hate white people when you're learning about race in school. And when you are learning about feminism, they're not actually teaching you anything other than how to hate men and to see the patriarchy and men putting you down everywhere, right? So when you have that form of psychological conditioning taking place in the school system, you're producing women that see the patriarchy everywhere. It becomes like a paranoia, right? Oh my God, if asked me to make a sandwich, I'm not gonna make a sandwich, and then that's it, I'm trapped. And they're actually not realizing that there actually was an incentive behind you even being taught that. You've never actually lived the life of making a husband a sandwich, and they think that's going to send you back and suddenly you're going to lose your voting rights and you're not going to be able to go get work. You know, there was a time when there was a need for feminism, first wave feminism, right? But first wave feminists would want nothing to do with third wave feminists, which is where we're at today, right? Women that think that actually first wave feminists, you could argue, envied men, right? They wanted to be able to go to work. They wanted to have that option to be something outside of the home, right? Now we have that option and we're being told the exact opposite, which is that if you, everything in the home is bad. And that's what you call throwing out the baby with the bathwater. There are some really amazing things. I think the best things that come from being at home. Sometimes I think we got the bad end of the deal, right? I'm like, wait, we got to stay at home and do nothing and spend our husband's money and somebody complained?
Yeah.
That's a joke, guys.
That's a joke. But no, that and to me, I think that's the part where, you know, I've unfortunately seen that happen so much in society, that there's such a mischaracterization to me of what people think as stay-at-home mothers and traditional women. There's such a mischaracterization, like these women were prisoners,
right?
You know, and so whereas, like you said, I think first wave feminism wanted women to have a choice, but then third wave, the choice is gone. You must choose what we want for
exactly
you, right?
What we want is you need to be top 40 Forbes company, a corporation. If you don't have that, then you somehow failed. And I'm like, that is so backwards and so wrong. And it also goes against biology. You know, it goes against biology. There's a reason, biological underpinning to everything that we have in the society. People keep trying to outthink biology. It doesn't work that way, right? There's a reason, you know, women can carry children and men can't. So that instantly allows man to have different goals in terms of the workforce than women, because that means we have to make a decision. Do we have children? Or continue working in our career, or try to juggle both. Men don't have that same pressure, and it's not their fault. They didn't design this. You know, men weren't like, well, I have an idea, let's not be able to carry children, only let women be able to do that. And so there's the biological reality of that, and increasingly you see women that go for it in terms of their career because they have the societal pressure, and then it's too late. And then they realize, wow, this job is not making me happy, but my gosh, can I just tell you as a new mom what you feel like when your son smiles at you? Like, you know, when your baby looks up at you, there's no greater feeling of accomplishment. Like there is none. I have accomplished a lot in my life in terms of my career, and I can tell you there is nothing that satisfies me more than just my baby smiling at me.
What you got to say on that? I mean, she's kind of bringing the thought back where women were like housewives, you know, staying home, taking care of the kids. That are more like today. A lot of women want to go to work, but as soon as they start working and they get a man, then they don't feel like they want to work anymore. But back in the days, it's like they were asking for that type of right, you know. And if we're trying to be honest here, I feel like I watched this one video that said women are more happier being housewives than being like a working woman. You know, because they're more likely to just stay home, take care of their kids, take care of their families, while like the man is out there as a breadwinner, you know, making that money and bringing home money, and for the woman to go maybe just buy food, buy kids clothes, and so on.
I really feel like that also depends on like what kind of man you have. If you have a man that's good with providing and making sure everything is okay, you do your part, whatever part that is, then I guess that's fine. But I know someone who's a stay-at-home mom with like 3 kids, but she's happy. Yeah, she loves her kids and she like doing what she do because that do bring her joy, like the lady said. I don't have kids, so I don't know, but I can see how my sister reacts when she's with her kids, or how my mom is with us, and I know that it's a different type of like love, a feeling that you just can't even explain. So that's fine, but it's a point where like they also be feeling like, dang, I'm missing out on something. Like I need to be doing more. I should go back to school, or I should just do this and that. Like, life is short. You don't want to say you didn't do, what you could have. But even with my sister, she had took off for a couple of months just because, like, she was still getting paid, but she just wanted to, like, spend more time with her kids. And she enjoyed it. But then it came to a point where she was like, nah, I need to go back to work. I don't want to be home. I don't want to, like, I love my kids, but it's just not for her. Like, she's a person that like to get to it. Like, she like to make her own money. Her and her husband are great. He's a good provider, but she like to feel like she's also contributing into the relationship. She's a person that has goals and plans for herself too. Like, she don't want to be a stay-at-home mom full time. She loved the time she gets to spend with her kids, but she also want to be out here doing stuff. And then she has a daughter. She want to set that role examples for her to so she could grow up and be like, oh, she could have dreams for herself. Like, she could do whatever she want to do.
For you, like, would you want to be a stay-at-home mom
No.
or a working mom?
I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom.
Would you,
I don't even think I want to be a mom.
Pick one.
I would be a working mom because
Stop the cap.
for real, I want to be a working mom. For one, like,
Bro.
when I talk to my mom, like, growing up, I have dreams for myself. I don't even know if I honestly want to have kids. I don't see it. If it happens, it happens. But I want to be a businesswoman. I want to be a working person. I don't really care for all that. If I find love and all that happens, that's great. But I have goals. I myself just refuse to sit around and wait for somebody to take care of me. You never know what happens. Like, anything could happen. Like, the relationship could turn left. The man can leaving you, and then you here was sitting there taking care of these kids, waiting for him to do this and that. The whole time he got another life, got kids somewhere else, and you didn't do nothing for yourself. You can't help yourself because you was stuck being a stay-at-home mom. And that's not bad. For those who like that, that's fine. But me personally, my mom told me, always make sure you're taken care of too, and always make sure you have something in case anything, because nothing is promised. Anything can happen. Shit could go left. You could be good right now, and then tomorrow, boom, you're a single mother struggling.
Shit.
Now what?
And we're taking that away from women because we're telling them that's the wrong aspirations to have in life.
Another thing that I've noticed going on in society is that there is a lot of cynicism towards men as well. And you've talked about it, as well on your show and on different platforms. And I've noticed that a lot of women, similar to like what the media does, it projects such a negative, cynical view of men in society. Of men are going to take advantage of you, they're going to beat you, they're going to get you pregnant and leave you. There's such a negative view of men. So for women who may have a negative view of men because of maybe personal experience, whether their father may have not been there or because of whatever society painted to them, how would you encourage them? How would you motivate them to not be as cynical and to be more optimistic when it comes to men?
I think it's a self-perpetuating problem, meaning that there are crappy men in the world, right? But men are crappy because we...
Recording on Zoom? Who still does that?
Thankfully, with Riverside, you can record audio and video
crappy because we've created a system where manhood has become obsolete. You keep increasingly telling men more and more they can't matter. When I say, who are they being told that by? They're, like I said, there's more sinister implications here of why we're making manhood obsolete. When we're saying masculinity is wrong, this is backwards, you don't need a man. You can just have a baby without a man. You're starting to see that sort of programming happening with young women. When you're telling women to act like men, you should aspire to the things that men naturally might aspire to. When you remove the more natural feeling of men being providers and women being nurturers, which is a beautiful yin and yang that just works, right? So you're creating men to feel obsolete, and then women are complaining because men aren't being men. It doesn't work that way, right? And not only that, then increasingly you're telling women to be the opposite of what I think men want, right? The opposite, maybe in the instant when men are not thinking with their big heads and they're saying, oh, whoa, she's half naked, great, I'm going to go for it. That might be what a man wants, but long term, that's not what a man wants. A man doesn't want a girl that's just going to be naked all the time and put herself out there available for every man to see. That I don't have to be a man to know that that's not what men want. So then you say men suck, and I ask this question all the time. You complain about men.
That's a fact. And my thing is, I will never control anyone on what to wear. It's up to them to represent themselves, feel free, just like have that love for, like have that self love, you know. But there's different levels to it, you know. Like if you really in a serious community relationship with someone, and for example, you're going out or you're going out with friends and so on, you have to present yourself a certain way, you know. Just you could dress cute and stuff like that, but I'm not saying like dress like the mini skirt where like you have to pull it down every time you sit down, because that's like, come on now, like you're making yourself look bad, you know. And
Okay, so what if your skirt is short but everything else is covered up? You still.
nah, you just gotta watch the way you dress.
What if you just dress cute, like you a bad bitch? You just put that shit on, but you also respect yourself. You're not
I'm
out
saying
here
like
doing
you
this
just
and
gotta
that.
cover your. I mean, there's
Because sometimes
different,
clothes is just clothes.
but there's different like, you know the kind of
I'm just
skirts I'm
saying.
talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
The
about.
ones that like it goes up and you gotta pull them down on your
I have a few
own,
dresses I gotta
da-da-da.
pull down.
You know, but like, come on, man. Like, if you, a lot of men don't really speak up on this
Nah, I hear what
because
you're saying.
it kind of really offend women, like in a way that, oh, like what you mean, like, oh, you trying to tell me what to wear? Oh, that's kind of like controlling. Oh, I never want
Yeah.
a man that will control me. But if you really love that man, same thing with the man. A man has to present himself like in a certain way, you know, like you don't want a man that's out there that sees a group of women shirtless.
Yeah, but that's
know,
but men
so-
don't have to worry about dressing a certain way. That's us. You know why? Because y'all over sexualize everything. That goes back to even us being in
that's not
school,
true.
bro. Us being in high school, middle school, whatever. You can't wear certain things, or it's getting the boys' attention. The boys is looking. Da 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 da. It's causing the boys to be distracted. You can't wear this. You can't wear that. Your shorts are too short. Why can't boys just keep their eyes on the board, do their work, and leave it at that? Now you can't come to school comfortable because they're worried that your boy is gonna be distracted.
Why? This why I like private schools. Why you coming to school dressing all like crazy?
Half of the
for?
time you don't even be naked. It's if your pants are too tight, they're too tight. If it's doing something. If you're a girl that got a big chest and big butt, then you can't wear certain things. We're not even saying you're going to school half naked with a crop top or whatever. We know the school attire. But certain things, depending on how it fit you, they tell you it's inappropriate and it's
So I
distracting.
like private schools, man.
Like I went to a private
it's
school
good to
too, and
wear-
it was always something was always
but,
a problem.
Yeah, but it's good to wear that uniform because
Yeah, but then
Like-
they also give you days where you don't have to wear a uniform.
exactly.
And when you get to wear whatever you want to wear, if you're a girl that's built different and your body's a little more mature,
it's not about
something's
being
always
built.
a
We're
problem.
talking about the clothes you're putting on.
Yes,
your body.
but sometimes it's not just about the clothes. It's about your body, your physique. Like,
Nah, it's about the
but
clothes,
about the
man.
whole like when you're in a relationship, you should respect yourself. You should respect your partner. Not even just in a relationship. Don't nobody want to be with somebody that's out here promoting themselves when you supposed to be with me. Like, I don't want to see my girl out here dressing a certain way. I myself don't do that. If I'm with somebody, I'm with somebody. I don't even post certain type of pictures on Facebook or anything, Instagram, out of respect for myself, my brother, my family, just because people talk too much and just I don't feel comfortable like that. You would never go on my social medias and see something unless it's something like unless I'm like promoting something or I'm in a video or some stuff. I'm
Why you
I'm
still
not
promoting?
doing that. Like, but I don't be half naked.
You're still promoting.
I don't be half naked though. I don't be naked. But if let's say I'm going out and I want to look cute, it's my birthday and I'm feeling like, oh, I want to look good
You're
today.
still
Like,
promoting, man.
I'm young.
You just
I'm
say you
turned.
don't promote, so you're still promoting.
I'm promoting my body.
Still promoting, man.
No. I think you flipping my words.
Bumbuckler.
But are
Nah.
you being the type of a woman that a man would want, right? It's a self-perpetuating problem. And then you say that and they, oh my God, Candace is a horrible human being. And I'm looking at you going, I'm not a dude. I wouldn't date you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, again, self-perpetuating problem, not enough women calling out the fact that women are not desirable right now, in my opinion, right? They're sexually desirable, but I wouldn't want to take you home to mom desirable. And then you have men who are being hit over the stick and being told, man, bad, masculinity, bad, who need to be told, no, stand up, tuck your shirt in, right? Be a leader, be what a man is supposed to be. And that dies when we're not even allowed to say man and woman anymore. And that gets me into the transgender, and I could rant for 3 hours on that. So
no, Candace, I like this. And that to me is a direction where I was trying to get to today, because the first part that I was thinking about was that it appears to me that a lot of the critiques that can appear to be personal is not really an attack on an individual, right? And none of us are perfect. Sometimes I say it the wrong way. Sometimes you say things the wrong way. None of us are perfect. But one thing that I think you're passionate about is that you're seeing that some of these ideas that are being projected in society, how they're negatively affecting the next generation, especially as it pertains to our children, especially your child. And so I think that's something in which I definitely agree with you that unfortunately in today's society, there's such an unhealthy culture, especially amongst men and women, especially amongst men. That's why we do what we do at the Roommates, trying to uplift and build better men, because we see that society creates so many unhealthy messages. And it's funny that you mentioned that point where when you think about how women were once soft in the past, traditionally, right? Generally speaking, and men were considered to be hard and tough. Now it's kind of flipped in inverse, right? Now that the women are projected to be these hard, tough individuals, and now these men are now created to be soft pillows, and you see them on college campuses, right?
Right.
But then, like you said, I love your point that you mentioned. You said try both out. Right? So try what the society says in regards to being a man, and then try the alternative way, the more excellent way about masculinity, taking responsibility, being more ambitious, driven, all these things. And men all the time tell me that they're so much more happier doing it the other way than following what society has communicated to them.
Yeah, and it's like, why is society communicating to men to be more feminine at the same time that you're telling women to be more masculine, right? That's like, just take a step back and think. You don't have to like Candace Owens to take a step back and to go, that is kind of weird, right? It is a bit weird that you're telling men, oh, all displays of masculinity are wrong and you need to be more feminine, and telling men they can bend gender and do all of these things, while at the same time you're saying to a woman, you need to man up, you need to provide, you need to do this, you need to do that. That tells you that there's something satanic going on, right? And
what's your opinion on that? I mean,
Satanic is crazy.
do you think society tells men to be more, to be less masculine, and tell women to be more masculine? And speak more on it. Like, I want to hear your own opinion, because I believe like that's true. Like a lot of times, when you're too much of a masculine guy, you're labeled as toxic masculine. Like you're presenting toxic.
I feel like
masculinity.
You're only toxic if you have toxic ways.
Exactly.
If you do toxic things. I don't think you being a masculine or whatever, a masculine person, should make you a toxic person. It's all about how you carry yourself and what you do with that to make you toxic. But nowadays, women feel like we have to be a little tough. I can understand. I could agree to that, because it's like how she said. It's not like how it was back then when my parents first got together. Whatever, like men was being men, women was being women. Now men are not doing what they got to do, so women feel like they have to step up and play that role. Women have to protect themselves, so we got to do a little extra. We got to make sure a lot of women just want to be independent women because they don't want to depend on nobody, because men just not doing what we feel like they're supposed to be doing.
I feel like a lot of women,
that's making us not do what we're supposed to be doing. So now we got these tough gangster women, and
I feel like a lot of women that are sort of allowed to kind of play those roles as a mother and a father are those single women who are like taken for granted by those, like deadbeat dads, like, and then they're just there taking care of their kids,
sometimes it's not like that though.
Like they have to play both roles somehow, that those are the type of women. But like that women that I'm saying, like nowadays, it's like you could see even little ass girls in high school, college or whatever, and they would try to like act more masculine, even though, and then it will cause some conflict in their future relationships, because now, yes, she's independent, but now she wouldn't even allow a man to do what a man's supposed to do for her within a relationship. If you know what I'm saying.
Okay, so the whole like single mom thing you said, I feel like it's not always like that. Sometimes like the women can be a problem, but people don't want to admit to that. Sometimes that single mom is a single mom for a reason, because she caused that man to leave because she did whatever. Or sometimes you just bring a child into the world when you know that neither of you guys was ready. He told you straight up he didn't want it, and you can't be mad. You can't force nobody to do it. So if you know you're bringing this child into the world, you're just gonna have to take care of it. When he knows that he's ready, then he's gonna do what he gotta do. But you can't force that on somebody that already told you straight up, I don't want to have kids. Y'all know what y'all was both doing. Y'all both laid down and y'all did it. It takes two. But if he tells you straight up, I'm not ready, I can't do it.
Nah,
Bumbleclot. Shit.
Bumbleclot.
But yeah,
everybody
man.
knows, they know what be going on. But I myself, I'll say I don't like people doing stuff for me. But that goes as for me just growing up as an independent child. Like, I did a lot for myself growing up. Not that I didn't have a mom or a dad. I just always wanted to take care of myself. I always wanted to take care of myself. I always wanted to make sure I was good. I never wanted nobody to help me because, one, you're not throwing nothing in my face. And that's how a bunch of people feel. Like, I'm not giving you an opportunity to throw nothing in my face, to tell me that you did this and that for me. I'm not giving you the chance to feel like I owe you something or whatever the case is. If you want to do something for me because you want to do it out of just you being a good person because you care about me, go ahead. I will allow it. But I don't need nobody taking care of me. If you give me that, then I give you back the same. If you treat me a certain way, I'm going to treat you good too. Like, I'm not, and then women don't want to be submissive to somebody that's not giving them that. What are you giving me to make me feel like I should submit to you and give you that soft girl and be that woman that you want me to be? If you're cheating and you're doing all this and now you're being sneaky, you're not doing nothing, I'm the one that's providing more, whatever the case is. One, I should just walk away from you. And two, why would I submit to you? Why would I give you that good side of me or whatever the case is? For what? You don't deserve it.
Right, man. Alright, we're just gonna end it right there because the time is running. But yo, this is Easy Pinch Out Podcast with your one and only host, Glory Boy and
Clementine.
Alright, so y'all go ahead and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. And comment below what you thought about this video. With the topic and everything, like what you thought about it. So yeah, go ahead and do that. And yeah, so we out of this bitch. Let's go.